friends, welcome to my channel. I'm your creator of fun, whimsy, and occasional chaos, Heather. My normal video disclaimer for new and old friends. Small apartment, 14-year-old daughter that's homeschooled, noisy ferrets, and a husband with a weird work schedule. Currently, we shouldn't have any problems with the distraction noise. Today my daughter has a flex day, and she's still currently sleeping. My husband's at work. He started this morning at 6:30 this morning, something like that. And my ferrets are currently quiet. The only one is the newest one, and she hasn't went and annoyed Allie yet, so we're good. They are not fighting, so we shouldn't have that many distractions of like coughing, TV. Hey mom, can you get me this? Or my kid laughing as she's watching her YouTube videos on her Switch with her headphones. So it's a plus. Today I have for you, this is the second time I'm doing this intro, so today I have for you the diamond painting earrings that I'm doing from Temu. And it's probably gonna reiterate from the next part. They're painted to tush, so because they're double-sided, but they are very pretty. So I figure we'll do a little bit of a WIP and chat, talk a little bit about life, craft shows, current craft show, whatnot, and see where it goes from there. So I'm gonna let you guys go with this intro and take you to the additional content, or however you want to put it. Like I said when I first started this video, it was hella early, so hopefully this being several hours later when I'm starting to edit the video and realizing the intro really stunk. Hopefully it'll make sense and it won't be that bad of a video. So onward to the crafting. Okay, like I said before we start banging down on these ones, I started some of them earlier last night. Trying to get myself a jump start on stuff. These thank you bags were also from the same Temu haul, but they fit the earrings nicely. Like I said, there's this pattern. There's this pattern. Like I said, and they're all double-sided. And there's this pattern that I completed. And that pattern. Yeah, they are rather, when I got them and did my Temu haul, I think I even mentioned that they're a little bit larger. The earrings are a little bit larger and kind of gaudier than I thought they were going to be. They kind of remind me, this might be dating myself or dating my style. The earrings that, oh man, yeah, this is definitely going to date me. And I'm still kind of into that style fashion. Betsy Johnson with her big style earrings. I don't know if the word would be eclectic style. Not 100% sure, but that's kind of what they reminded me of when I started doing them. I'm like, oh well, if I don't sell that many of them, I guess I'll have some earrings. I don't know if I'd wear them. If I'd wear them every day, but I have some crazy earrings. But yeah, like that kind of like the Betsy Johnson, who was a designer for, and why am I remembering this? I don't know, maybe it's because it's early. My mom used to watch Days of Our Lives when she was into watching soap operas. Uh, there was this character I remember when I was a kid. Her name was Calliope Jones, and the fashion designer that they had to design her character's clothes was Betsy Johnson, and that's kind of how I kind of got into the weird, odd, not really odd, but like that kind of style of clothing, jewelry, because that was like when my mom was watching that show, that soap opera. Uh, she was one of my favorite characters because she was like spunky and kind of different. And I also at that point in time really liked, and I still do. My husband doesn't understand how I still like her music, but I still like Cyndi Lauper's music. And she was another one that Betsy Johnson was her stylist with that kind of, it's just funky kind of style. I don't know what you consider it, call it like a glam kind of chic, kind of not quite punk. I mean, maybe it was kind of like a mainstream punk. Not sure, but I just thought like just cool. I mean, the crazy fashion, crazy hairstyle. I mean, that's not why I have my hair undercut the way it is, but I think back then if I'd have been able to do so, I probably would. I would have had my head shaved on the sides like I have now. I just do it now because I get so warm, so hot ever since I started. My body is getting, I guess, ready for the change. Don't mean to be like rude or offensive, but nobody take me that way. But since my body's gotten older and I guess it's getting ready for the change, since I am in my late 40s, and also it was too because some of the diabetic medication that I was on, I started to get hot flashes really bad. That was one of the side effects. So I don't know if it's still like my body has tuned itself in to like the hot flashes because of that medication that particular medication that I was on, or if it is because my body's decided, hey, let's do the change on her. So that's another we shall see type thing. Anywho, so how are you all out there? To those of you that do may or may not do like craft shows, craft vendor shows, how have you felt like the day before your show? Like, have you felt that, even though you've done like that particular venue before, do you get like do you get anxious, feel anxious? I know like with my anxiety about doing an event, I know I not only like feel the anxiousness, I feel like I know I may or may not have said this in the past. My husband's family is in local government. His cousin, I don't know. It's not his first cousin because it's his dad's first cousin, I do believe. He's a county commissioner, and it's like I always feel getting just because somebody's saying my last name, or I should say my husband's last name, you know, with the whole marriage type thing. Are they giving me special treatment because of the last name? Like the better spots at the venues, more polite treatment. I mean, not saying like they're not being polite to everyone else. It's just, okay, are you being overly polite because of my last name, or because, you know, I've done your vendor show several other times, and I've proven that the items that I choose to sell are popular, or I come up with new ideas on things to sell, and you appreciate that. It makes me wonder. That's just a random thing, because I felt that way when I did my first big, what I would consider my big show. Like the first time I ever did Turkeytown Volunteer Fire Department in West Newton. I felt that way, especially after my husband tells me, "Oh yeah, my cousin is really big in this area because he lives around here." I took a big gulp, because I'm like, okay, we were nobodies at this show. You know, this is the first time out. I'm all nervous. And then we get the table by the door. I mean, yeah, we needed at that time we needed electricity, because my husband was doing wood burnt coasters, so he needed to plug in his wood burning tool. So he was doing, like I said, wooden coasters and putting designs and stuff like that on it. But like we were right by the door, and like it's not like we had. I think I ended up putting my application in like 2 or 3 weeks before the event, and I was like, I don't know, you know, if we're even gonna get in. Like I didn't know, and they're like, oh yeah, sure, okay. And like I said, my husband tells me all this, and I'm just like, no. Like, okay, did they just make accommodations for me? Bump somebody? You know, like, what? Because technically, before, honestly, it wasn't our first show ever. It was actually our second, but it was our first major show that we actually sold some decent amount of product. Items, however you want to put it. And, like, I pretty much sold out of what I had. And I was like, I went to my husband and I'm like, this isn't normal. Like, I'm a nobody down here, and everybody's just snagging up everything. Like it's water, or like it's hotcakes. I mean, I appreciated it. Trust me on that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, that really boosted my confidence. But then, like I said, it got me thinking. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's part of my anxiety and self-doubt, and the occasional self-doubt and stuff that I get with myself, but I don't know. After doing like the Kexper shows, I'm quite, I don't want to say more anxious, if that's the proper way to put, but they make the Kexper show, the 2 Kexper shows that are coming up, make me more anxious, due to the fact that my mom is or was part of the Ladies Auxiliary there, which the first show is sponsored by the Ladies Auxiliary. I didn't tell them who my mom was. I just kind of, you know, I sent pictures of the items I create and have created, and we'll let it go from there. But for the UFO festival, they know who my mom is. Like, one of my mom's, I don't want to say close friends, but one of the ladies that my mom, I believe if I'm not mistaken, that, that my mom actually, because my mom does volunteer for different animal rescues. I do believe the lady Sheila that's in charge of the UFO festival this year. She might have been in charge of it last year, but didn't have the opportunity to participate. But she's friends with my mom, or my mom knows her, because my mom got me the actual application, because I didn't know exactly where to go or who to talk to get that information. So my mom did help me get that information for me, and it's like, okay. I'm a little nervous, being that I feel like I'm not only representing myself, I'm representing my mom. So have a little bit of anxiety about that. And like, whereas with like I said, the ladies auxiliary one, they had that they were looking for vendors up on my on my Facebook business page, and I took my shot and kind of like applied. Well, not kind of, I did apply, and I was like, hey, you know, are you interested in this type of product? And the lady Tracy that I spoke to, she's like, oh yeah, I love your stuff. I'm like, okay, and I'm thinking, well, I didn't say who I was. I don't have the same last name as my mom anymore, so yeah, since I'm married, of course, you know, I have my husband's last name. So they're not going to know from there. And then I'm thinking, are you just saying this because you see Chew? And, you know, that's not a very, I don't know, it's a popular last name, but like, it's not like Smith or Jones or whatever. It's like, oh, well, and thinking on the thing of, well, maybe she's related to, you know, the county commissioner. And I'm like, like, that thought was a hindsight, but like, my big thought there is like, okay, it's because of my mom. I mean, also, I did, at one point in time, I tried my hand in being I guess you'd consider it a fry cook, but the cook at their little social hall for the fire department. And yeah, that didn't go so well, but hey, I tried. Of course, that's my attitude with everything. Hey, I tried. Can't say I didn't try. I mean, that's like, I was telling my husband, and the other day, I think it was because, not really think, but I think a lot of, I think too much, but, honestly, like, I had said to my husband, maybe, you know, maybe I shouldn't do these craft shows anymore, you know, like, how much is it taking away from the family as opposed to giving to the family? And my husband said to me, well, I mean, this was like before we had gone to bed, like, kind of like our little calming down, settling down time, where we didn't have to worry about the kid butting in you know, adult time conversation, which pretty much because of the fact that, you know, our kids homeschooled, and the fact that our apartment is smaller, even though we are looking. I mean, there's a lot of places that we found that were nice apartments, but they were absolutely not in our price range, or they would not take our emotional support pets. You know, it's like, for me, it's like, if I can't have my emotional support animals, it's a no-go. I don't care. Sorry, you could be, it could be the cheapest apartment, cheapest housing in the world. If I can't have, like, I think without my emotional support pets, I would probably break. Like, I would legitimately I would be in a mess. There was a point in time last year, I had some health issues, and I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if I could, if it was more mental or physical health issues, or just a combo of the two, that my husband and I had to separate for a minute. And basically, the support pets were here, like Luna and Allie were here. I was staying at my mom's till we figured stuff out. And it was hard. Yeah, my mom has cats and stuff, but just for the little bit of time, I think it was maybe like maximum 2 weeks, that, you know, I had to be away from them. I was not me at all. I was a legit mess. Like, I kind of was going through the motions of life. And like I said, yeah, my mom has cats and stuff. I was helping her with them, volunteering, or like going with my mom when she went to the cat shelters and stuff, but like, it was hard. Like, I mean, this is gonna sound horrible as a parent, and the fact too, if you've watched my prior videos, the fact that, okay, yes, my daughter's not my biological daughter. I wouldn't treat her any different. But when I say this, it's gonna sound messed up. But you'll kind of understand when you're dealing with what myself, my husband have dealt with our daughter, the things that she's been through. When you deal with a child that has mental health issues due to abuse and neglect, it's hard. And stressful. I mean, that's the more distress. So, when I say this, like I said, it's gonna sound messed up because I chose to adopt a child. Yeah, not knowing where that was gonna lead. Agreeing to, you know, help with the challenges of this child. So here's where the fucked upness comes. Excuse my French, but and how it's gonna sound that way. But those 2 weeks, I think I honestly needed just a break. I mean, not only from my child, like the child I chose to adopt, because some days she is a lot. Just like her theories on life, her perception of the world. Some days is so skewed from what I just don't know a polite way to put it, but like her views of reality are so skewed and bent sometimes that it's hard to deal with her. So, those 2 weeks were kind of, for me, a good break. Not due to the reason why the break, but like I just needed that. And I think my husband realized those 2 weeks that I wasn't around as a buffer for some of our kids' actions and sayings and just doings. He, I think, realized what I was going through mentally, that it was taking a toll on me. Because he was having even issues dealing with her on his own. Just like I said, certain things that she does, certain things that were ingrained in her when she was under the care of her biological mother. Just not, and I hate to I hate to use the word normal, because what really is normal? One person's normal is different than another person's normal. I guess basically what I want to say is different than society's norms, I guess. I mean, we're not a conventional family. Some days we don't. Some days it's not. Most days we try to, and not in like a weird way, but we try not to conform to society's norms, like, kind of like, I'm not sure how to say it, like, it's early, I'm not quite sure how to say it, as not to offend, but we don't conform to society's norms. We question. I mean, yeah, we follow, like, we try to teach our child to, there's a right and wrong way, but to question. Our kid is a little extra in questioning. But why? Like yesterday, her and I had a debate, and I didn't really want it to start as a debate, but, and I know, like, there's certain topics you don't really talk about, because, like, they're hard issues on people, like, religion, politics. Well, we wasn't talking about politics. Like, she was just asking about, religion and spirituality. Like, I guess I would like to say, with what all she's been through, her views on things like that, or more scientific, analytical, I guess, if she doesn't have facts that she can prove something by, she's not, like, it doesn't compute with her, if that makes sense. I mean, like I said, my daughter is very smart. Ridiculous IQ. But there's sometimes you can tell. I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, she looks older. She does not act older. She tries to. But as soon as she opens her mouth, she removes all doubt, her age and her immaturity. Because she's like her dad, she'll argue you into the ground. Trying to get her point across. And then when she doesn't, she just makes like I guess it would be a snide comment, or tries to do snide comments to the fact on, well, what if? Like, what if this, Mom? What if that? And some days I feel like saying, well, what if pigs could fly? Then we'd have flying bacon. Like, just stuff like that. It drives me up the wall. I mean, I don't want to say I wouldn't change her. There's certain things about her I would change. That is one of them. But that is one of her quirks. Like, I wouldn't want her to change the fact that she questions things. I guess it would be, I'd want her to change how she goes about questioning things. Like, that she's not rude about questioning things. And that she'd not only open her ear, like, she opens her ears to what you're saying so she can come up with an argument or state an argument instead of saying, okay, I don't understand your views, but I'm going to argue you and say your views are wrong because I can go and state your views are wrong because I have this scientific fact, or I can pull up this whatever fact that I can Google, Wikipedia, or whatever to tell you you're wrong, that your thoughts are wrong. I mean, now I'm going to get a little bit, basically, it might be crazy, so, you might want to, if you don't appreciate what I'm saying, or don't get where I'm coming from, and I'm not trying to push my views on anyone, because, like, this is how I feel, and honestly, this is what started the conversation with me and my daughter about this. She came out and yesterday, as I'm going and I'm doing my diamond paintings, getting my other crafting things together, like, I have a box of stuff that I have to go outside today at some point in time. Hopefully it doesn't, it's supposed to rain all freaking week, except for one day, and I wasn't ready to go out and spray some of my wood stuff to seal it, but it's supposed to rain like crazy all week. It's supposed to even rain tomorrow, which always happens every spring craft show that I go down to. The craft show in Jeanette, it usually rains. But, so that's like a given, springtime rain. But, my kid, like I said, somehow we got on the concept of, like, she just asked a random question. And somehow it got into, like, I can't even remember exactly how it got into, but I went and I was talking to her and I said, I would be lost, legitimately lost without her dad. Like, her dad is my person. And she's like, what do you mean is your person, Mom? I said, well, I've been married prior. I've had, several relationships, more than I'd like to count, before before myself and her dad got together. So, and I'm trying to explain to her that I, in my mind and heart and stuff, felt there was always something missing. And she's like, but what do you mean, like, Dad is your person? What do you mean by that? And I'm trying to explain it to her. And, like, not to make her feel, like, depressed about it, because she does have some, like I said, she has issues and things. And she gets very, since she's homeschooled and that, because she was bullied in school because of her being different. Kids were not saying very nice things to her. Like I said, my daughter does, she dresses like a tomboy. She acts there's kind of like feminine in her, at least I'd like to say so, but she's more definitely, her dad basically doesn't have to worry about having a son, because she has a daughter that is a son. And I don't mean that in like this way that most people are now. Not most people, but like how, society identify as this, blah, blah, blah. Or that, oh, my daughter wants a sex change. No, none of that. Yes, currently, my daughter feels, like I said, because it's something I don't understand. I will be the first to admit, I don't know if other people are, but I will be the first to admit, I've never been, like, with my sexuality and stuff like that, I've never been like one way or another, you know what I'm saying? Without me coming out and saying this, but, like, my daughter, she'll say, I am gay, Mom. Okay, that's cool. But I'm not gonna come out and tell her like some people in our family have. It's just a phase. Because honestly, that's still a tricky it's still a tricky subject. Like, for me, that's a tricky type thing. Certain things that my daughter said, because of the fact that she was abused physically and mentally by her mom, and the way she's been, like, how she was sexually harassed at work, and also like questionable sexual things that may or may not have happened with her step-grandfather. Now, things that my daughter has said that have to do with that, like, I don't want to say she's come out, but like, just certain things that she says, she's like, boys and men are just, ew, they're gross. But she's also said, even though she's like, oh, I'm gay, leave me alone, I'm gay. Like, she's like, boys just need to leave me alone. She's like, Mom, don't they know I'm gay? I'm thinking, okay, sometimes you act like you know, you don't want anything to do with boys, but yet other times you do give the inkling that you may be interested. So I'm not going to say, hey, it's a phase because of whatever. And hey, you may not like boys because of things that have happened to you in the past. That's neither here nor there, because like I said, I don't know how, I know personally how, you know, with me getting into my own sexuality, whatever, how that is. But I'm not saying that my child is the same. You know, she has different contributing factors of how she feels compared to how I feel. And they teach our children in school different things than they did than when I went to school 30 some years ago. Yeah. I mean, I graduated in 1995. They've been posting on like my high school alum page, because I graduated from Latrobe. But they've been posting things about, oh yeah, our 30th is coming up. And I'm thinking, ew, I've been out of school 30 some years. And I have a 14-year-old going on 15. And it's like, God, I'm old. But things have changed from when they taught us things in school as compared to what they're teaching our children about sexuality. And it's not equality, but it falls under that, like the whole entire having empathy for other people, which is great. I mean, I think that's great, but the part I don't understand, I don't go for is when they're teaching my child about, and that, like I said, that's not one of the reasons, that's not any of the reasons why she's homeschooled. She's homeschooled because she's bullied, straight out. I mean, not to use the sexual slurs and stuff, but they were basically calling my child a dyke. I mean, it's different when she doesn't, I mean, she's never called herself that, but it's different when she's saying, yes, I'm gay, leave me alone, you know. She's saying that, not when somebody's picking on her because she doesn't feel like, you know, the little boy or whatever, she does not feel like giving them the time of day because to her, her schooling is more important than being social. Like, I mean, that sounded wrong, but like, yeah, she socialized with her friends, her little friends that were girls, even though they were mean to her too because she was different. Because, like my daughter, like I said, she's going to be 15. She has no interest in makeup. She'd rather sit, play video games. She's not like myself. She's not overweight like me or her dad. Like, she'd rather read a book, learn something, some abstract fact from like YouTube or something that, you know, she's looked up on Google because she was just curious about it, and share that with you than gossip and like do what you would think a typical girl would do, like gossip, do your nails, do makeup. That's not my kid. I mean, my kid, you know, she is more, I don't want to say boy-like, but what you would think would be boy-like. She's a tomboy. She doesn't mind getting her hands dirty. In fact, she prefers it. I mean, she likes to cook. She's like most teenagers, doesn't really like to clean up, that type of stuff. Her area around her bed is ridiculous. I don't really want to see when she finally moves out of the house when she's of age and has the money to do so. It kind of would scare me because I think she would have like a hoarder situation. And because of her mental health issues, we do not, like, there's mementos and other things that, if it was my husband and I, we would have thrown out ourselves personally. But my kid wants to keep this stuff. Like, she remembers making this in whatever class or whatever additional extracurricular thing that she did prior to her living with us. She wants to keep that. I got her a little memento box. Well, she doesn't put everything from her memento box in there, but I mean, she is trying. But she doesn't. She just kind of lets it kind of puke out everywhere. And like things that you would think that were garbage are precious to her. So, because she did not have much when she was living with her biological mother, because, to be honest, my daughter was treated like, basically like Cinderella. At least that's my opinion. Her biological mother chose to use this child at a young age as basically her babysitter to clean up after people, and I believe she was only 5, 6 at the time, maybe a little bit older than that. It was like when her half sister came is when she started having to do chores and things like that her mother should have been doing, or her stepfather should have been doing. And there was really nothing that my husband could do about it, because when he found out about this stuff, it was too late. And with the fact that he was, not that it makes an excuse, but the fact he was dealing with his own demons in and out of the correctional facilities because of his demons and addiction, which she's completely clean now, but he was unable to he was unable to be the correct kind of parent. And my in-laws would try. And every time dealing with my daughter's mother, from what I was told, and I completely can see where my in-laws were coming from, because when my husband tried to reestablish visits with our daughter when she was still living at her biological mother's house, her biological mother gave the runaround, basically because she was mad because she was unable to collect child support off of my husband. I mean, yes, when he was incarcerated, she was able to a little bit, but then my husband, with his mental health his addiction and mental health issues, he was on disability for a short period of time till he got get straightened out. So that whole time that my daughter was with her biological mother was not getting any type of, because the way the laws are, if you're on disability, you do not have to pay child support because you're disabled. Fixed income kind of thing, I think, is what it falls under. But my husband, like I said, he ended up being on disability. That and the fact that he has one functioning kidney. That got him on disability, which made it, at that point, I mean, which I don't really understand at this point, but the laws are weird. But he was unable, like, they put him on disability. Since then, they have taken him off disability. But she was unable to collect, which pissed her off, basically, because she just wanted to, and this is even what I heard through the family, she really didn't want my daughter. She just basically wanted her as a check so she did not have to work. And she could run around and act like a mature person. Which is basically what she did when she was with her husband. Like, when they first got together, and like, my husband ended up being incarcerated, they broke up, yada yada yada, and so on and so forth. So yeah, she basically then had a job with this other man, and my daughter was stuck taking care of her, basically, and which wasn't right. So she has emotional scars from that. So it is what it is, I guess. Things happen for a reason. Some stuff is screwed up, but things happen for a reason. And there's really, I mean, nobody has it, as far as I know, has a time machine that you can go back and fix it, but that is, you know, how it is. But I'll finish up this one and then let you guys, or at least finish up this color for this one. I mean, they turn out pretty nice. I really like this one, honestly. Just lighter colors. This one's probably gonna be nice, but I haven't come to any of the colors that are in that one yet. So, like I said, I'm gonna let you guys go and switch up. At least, you know, it's early, it's morning, and ooh, I've been yabbering for a while. So, in closing, since I've just talked your ear off, I didn't realize I guess it's so easy to do an hour. I usually only do half hour, 45 minutes on these WIP and chats. I mean, my first one was bad because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I still sometimes don't know what the hell I'm doing. But either way. So, as always, if you like my channel, subscribe. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up if you like this video. I know some of my WIP and chat kind of got looped the other way. Didn't want to leave it on a downer, but I mean, it's just me chit-chatting, going through it. Click the little bell icon underneath if you'd like to receive notifications and updates on my channel when I post new content. Also, here at Notorious Whimsical Creations, we appreciate shares and likes just to let us know what we're doing, how we can improve. So my final thought, as always, with a world full of unpleasantness, try to keep your life filled with fun and things that make you happy, and sparkle them with a side of whimsy. Till next time, YouTube land.